Have you ever wondered why your child cannot chew properly, or maybe spills the food out of the mouth, or cannot pronounce certain sounds how it should be at his age or her age? Many parents are told that, don't worry, they are just picky eaters. It's a phase, they will grow out of it. Well, when it's coming to feeding issues and chewing issues, and especially speech developmental delays, we have to be extremely important with what we observe and see what is happening with our child. Most of the time, it's not about it's a phase or the child will grow out of it. It's just telling you that the body, the muscles, somehow they are not working together in order for us to develop the chewing skills or the feeding or the speech. In today's video, I'm going to explain the importance of the jaw, the cheeks, the lips, the mouth in general, and the tongue. How all these areas are so important in order for us to develop a better feeding or or have better chewing skills and make sure that your child is developing properly in the speech area. Also, in today's episode, we are going to see why the jaw is called our foundation. How important it's to have a good jaw stability. Before we are going to start, let me explain for who this video is. If you didn't see our previous episode, the first episode, I invite you to check it out. These videos, I created a mini series of 10 episodes talking about oral motor skills and how they are super important in our development, especially whenever we are talking about feeding issues or speech delays. These videos are good for parents, educators, therapists, anyone who actually who knows that someone is struggling in any of the areas that I was mentioning before. Let's start with the most important topic of the day, the mouth. The mouth works as a team, meaning that whenever I was talking about lips, jaw, cheeks, and tongue, everything is composed in this area. We have to make sure that all these different skills and all these different areas are coordinated and working together in order for us to have a good feeding skills, chewing, make sure that our child has good tonicity and can vocalize and make the sounds that we need in order to communicate. If one of the areas, or skills that I was mentioning before, it's not coordinated, it's not stable, it doesn't work good, definitely there is going to be unbalanced situation. Let me put an example. Let's think that the jaw represents a table. Our lips will represent the edge of the table, and our tongue is actually our hands. Whenever we are having food on the table, we have to have that stability. The table needs to be stable enough to hold the plates, to hold the food, etc. Our hands, our tongue needs to be strong enough that in case if I need to take something, if I need to manipulate a food, etc., I am capable to have strength to grasp, or in case if something is falling, moving, I can use my hands to hold it. And the edge of the table are the lips. So if my lips are open, if the edge it's not there, most probably if there is instability on the table, the things might fall out. So I would like you to have that picture in your head. Lips are extremely important to keep the things inside of the mouth. The tongue, it's extremely important to actually manipulate the things inside of the mouth. And the jaw is our foundation, our stability. So let's start with the foundation, the jaw. We are going to begin with the jaw because it's from everything where it starts. Like I said before, it's our stability. The jaw, it's extremely important for us to manipulate the food inside of the mouth, to move the areas, all the muscles, etc., from side to side, make sure that we can open and close the mouth, make sure that we can chew, make sure that we can actually drink from a straw. So whenever we are talking, the jaw is constantly in motion, adapting for us to actually produce the sounds that we need in order to communicate. What happens when a child doesn't have a good jaw stability? Definitely the sounds are going to be harder to pronounce and produce. Definitely we are going to have maybe a mouth open or weak. We are going to have difficulties with chewing. So often you will see children who prefer soft food, or children who will take a little bit longer in chewing, or children who will not even chew. They will just swallow the food. Many parents, and this I see in my daily practice, they see lazy children, they describe like lazy with the food, with the hard food, because it's like, no, but he prefers this type of textures. Probably the brain and the nervous system, like I explained in the previous episode, is giving him signals that, listen, the jaw is not stable enough, it's not strong enough, so let's go for softer things. So yes, these children make looks like they are lazy, but actually they are not lazy, they are just coping with what they can. It's most probably that the stability of the jaw, it's not there, and actually their preference, the tendency for the food that they will choose, it's soft food. Tongue, it's our coordinator. The tongue, it's responsible for moving the food side to side, forward, backward. It's there for us to actually, whenever we are talking, I will be very repetitive, but it's true. This area is so small, but at the end, it's always the same. The tongue will be moving, having that flexibility and ability, moving forward, back, side to side, move the food from one side to another, and make everything possible for us to swallow our saliva, make sure that we are not drooling, make sure that we are pronouncing properly the sounds that we need to do, and have that coordination of the group of muscles in order for us to actually be able to communicate and to say what we would like to say. What many people doesn't know is that the tongue needs a stable jaw in order to move properly. Because sometimes you will have therapists or educators who will say like, no, but it's the tongue is just there, it's like there is no mobility. Yes, but most of the time the tongue needs to have a jaw, a proper stability in the jaw in order to have space to actually move. Now, what are the common signs of difficulties in coordination in the tongue? For example, accumulation of food in one side. You will see, like I call them our little hamsters, they will be accumulating the food on one cheek and not in the other. You will see them chewing very lightly, or sometimes the tongue just basically stays there with a very limited movement. You will see a difficulty to actually control the saliva and control, whenever we are drinking from a straw or we are drinking from a cup or from the bottle, you will see that the tongue actually it's not moving, it's not doing the functionality. Now, if you are in this point of the video and you are like, my child definitely might need help with the tongue, it's not meaning that your child is behind and will have definitely speech delay or something else. It's just maybe we need to work a little bit to reassure those muscles and make sure that we can check them out to make sure that everything is going how it should be. And if not, there are certain exercises that definitely we can help to work on this flexibility and coordination. So we were talking about the jaw as the main stability. We talk about the tongue as our coordinator. So it's the person who will be coordinating the food, everything that comes in the mouth, where it goes and how it goes, right? Now we are going to go to the lips. Lips take care of the closure. Now, if you are at this point of the video, I would like to make a little pause and say, in my previous episode, I always said that I love reading you. If there is any question, like if there is a question that you are not understanding, or perhaps I am saying something that you would like me to dig in a little bit more and provide you more information, I love reading you. So please take your notebook, take your pen or a paper, just write it down, write me in the comments, and I will be more than happy to provide more information, answer to your maybe particular case or whatever. But I love reading you, so don't hesitate to contact me. So let's go back to the lips. Like I said before, they will take care of the closure. So try to have that picture of the edges of the table. If the table moves, the things will just fall. So in our case, the lips, they have A really, really main functionality, it's lip closure. Make sure that everything that if we are eating from a spoon, the lips will take care to take the food with the lips and place it in the tongue, and then the tongue will do the rest of the what the tongue needs to do, no? But the lips take care of this. We contain the food inside of the mouth, and we close the lips in order to chew, in order to do the mastication, etc. So the lips take care of opening and closing the mouth as well, making sure that we take the food from the spoon or the fork, make sure that we are going to send the food properly inside of the mouth, make sure that we don't drool, that there is nothing falling from our mouth, that there is no like I am eating and the food is going outside. Drinking from a cup, from a straw, all this functionality, breathing, blowing, whistling, pronunciation of sounds like papa, baba, mama. If the lips are not working efficiently, definitely we are going to have the opposite of what I was saying. So might be a speech difficulty where we don't say papa, mama, baba, or we don't pronounce those sounds. Definitely there is drooling issue, food is falling out of the mouth is constantly open. We're not capable to do maybe different facial expression as well with the mouth because the lips are not actually coordinated, working properly. If one of these areas is not working good, the whole process, it becomes even more difficult. Like I said, it's not about the jaw, the tongue or the lips, it's about the mouth, the whole. Let's put another example. If the jaw is unstable, the tongue doesn't have enough space to move properly. So basically we're having a tongue that it's a little bit uncoordinated, doesn't have space to move and doesn't move efficiently. If the tongue doesn't move efficiently, the cheeks will have way less impact and possibility to do the job. And definitely the lips will not have energy enough to sustain all this area. So like I said, jaw is the stability, the tongue is the coordinator, but the lips is the closure. How they work together in speech. Speech is also a coordinated oral motor task. It's all about muscles and coordination movements that are working together in order for us to actually produce the sounds that we need. Different sounds require, for example, lip closure, we said pa, ba, ma. Tongue elevation, ta, da, na. Tongue retraction, ka, ga. The tongue goes inside, ka, ga. Jaw stability, full clarity. If my jaw is like this, definitely my speech will be interfered. Or like this. You can hear it in the sounds already. So whenever we are doing any sound, I would like you to think, whenever I have to say la la, I need to make sure that the tongue has enough stability, space, and strength to go up and to pronounce the la, ta, da, etc. This is the reason why many children with oral motor skills difficulties might have speech or sound delays or the clarity of the sounds. It's not there. Very picky with the selective textures, So not just with the food, but messy play, anything that has to do with the water or maybe different, or hair brushing or brushing the teeth or going to the beach, etc. And another one is they become tired when they are talking or eating, like the fatigue. You see the child changing the posture, suddenly yawning, wanting to sleep, because obviously the brain is doing such a big effort that we don't have space anymore for anything else, and the child just become tired. Again, it's not laziness, it's coordination. Now we're going to the part that I know that everybody likes. What we can do in order to fix all of these things that you mentioned before. So here we go with gentle activities and foundation. I would like to clarify that these activities are not for you to become suddenly strong and start pronouncing all the sounds that you didn't do before. Okay, these activities are there to support you, to bring you good foundation, could bring you clear activities where they will help you to warm up any muscle difficulty, bring some stability, and like I said, information is the key. The idea with this episode that I want you to see that if any of the activities that you are practicing, you see that your child is struggling, definitely Maybe it's a time to have a reference with a speech therapist or someone who is specialized in feeding if the issue is about feeding, and if the issue is about sound, definitely a speech therapist. The activities that I am providing, it's not about strength, it's about coordination, it's about stability, it's about awareness. Again, it's not about we are going to become strong from tomorrow. So let's go with activities for jaw stability. Now, I'm not going to come here with a huge list of activities that we can be doing, because then I know the mentality of the parents. We think that if we're going to do this 10 times in a day, means the child will get stronger. No, the idea is to do efficient movement, efficient activities, and especially always understand the reason why you're doing the activity. If you're doing something because Miss Lisa in her YouTube channel says so, please don't do it. Definitely it's better that you are guided by a therapist who specialize in the area. But if you're understanding the reason why you're doing the mirror, why you're doing the blowing bubbles, why we're doing this activity for jaw stability, because it's our foundation for our speech and feeding development, then yes, definitely let's go for it. So a safe jaw stability activity would be to start with food that are not extremely crunchy. So start working with maybe small bites, soft food, where actually we could be doing counting while chewing. We could place the food on one side of the jaw, right, and ask, for example, to bite till 5 and just close the mouth. You don't really need to have that, like literally we have to bite it. It's just more of stimulating one area of the jaw, then we can switch to the other one and do the same count. Make sure that the child is comfortable, that there is no like really crying or like you really are pushing the food inside of the mouth. Try to avoid all of this. Try to make it more of a game. So if he is already a soft eater, let's say we are going for soft food, try to find something in between crunchy and soft. If he doesn't tolerate any crunchy food, definitely start with soft, but I would suggest you to have a follow-up with a feeding specialist in this area. But let's start with introducing some soft textures. You can also use chewy tubes. Chewy tubes, in fact, I have one of the videos that I have in my YouTube channel. It's about different chewy tubes, and there are for babies. So there are different textures. I always suggest that if it's your first time to introduce a chewy tube, go for a soft texture, something that it's easy for the child to actually try to work on that chewing. Tongue awareness activity. In the previous episode, I mentioned the use of mirror. Mirror, it's an extremely good, easy activity where we can exercise a lot of skills. Besides imitation and having fun, making some silly faces, we can be asking the child to actually work on the tongue awareness. Stuck the tongue out, maybe side to side. Let's pretend that you have chocolate, or maybe you can put a little bit of Nutella or something or jam that the child likes on the side, and ask the child to lick it. Maybe you can do a movement of opening and closing the mouth, doing a blah, 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 or up and down, or doing any funny sound where the tongue is involved. With a mirror, you're working on attention, you're working on imitation, and you're working actually to see that this can be a fun activity at the end of the end. Lip closure activity. As you saw, we did jaw stability, we did tongue awareness, lip closure. Lip closure, we are going to come back to our bubble games. Bubble games, whistle games, drinking from a straw, blowing from a straw, can be anything, but the idea is that we work on this movement where the upper and the lower lip need to come together in the middle. If your child is struggling in blowing bubbles, like I said in the previous episode, then we can go for something softer that he needs to blow. Maybe we can go for candles, could be just one, and we do a little bit of repetitions. Or like I said before, feather, cotton ball, anything that is soft. To these activities, we can add the coordination game. We can ask the child to actually manipulate certain food that maybe she likes. in one side of the mouth, no? So we bring the food in one side and we ask with the tongue to try to place it in the other side. Maybe we can try to stick the tongue out with the food to see if the food is on the tongue. Maybe we can try to do very exaggerated movements, no? With the mirror in front. So if it's, let's say, if it's a biscuit or maybe something that the child really likes, or a yogurt, maybe we can have 2 yogurts, no, in front of the mirror. We can place the yogurt on the side. We can try to lick it. We can try to place the yogurt from one side to the other and see how the child is developing. The idea is observation and awareness, to bring a little bit of awareness and opportunity for the child to actually have the experience of it. Now, what not to do? This is extremely important. So, in the same way that I suggested certain activities, and for you, I hope that I brought enough of information about the jaw stability, the mouth, the tongue, etc. I would like also to reinforce a little bit what we shouldn't do. Whenever we see choking, gagging, definitely a no. Whenever we are seeing the child moving a lot and, refusing, crying, definitely we can give a pause. Maybe we can postpone the activity for later on, or maybe for another day. Like I said in the previous episode, if your child is arching, turning away, crying, pushing you away, etc., it just says that the body is not yet ready to learn. So you will say, okay, Lisa, but this is my situation. How can we improve? By simple, gentle movements and activities, like I said. The activities that I would recommend you are not anything extraordinary. If you have issues with the chewing and you never tried chewy tube, maybe it's a good step to start. If your child doesn't know how to blow bubbles, perhaps we can work on it before to actually work on feeding. Because many times, like I said, we have issues with feeding and speech, but we tend to do everything at the same time. Feeding, it's an extremely sensitive topic and a skill. So we have to break it down, make sure that other areas are developing good. And if one of the areas or 2, 3 areas are not developing good, definitely we need to slow down, make a pause with our expectation of we want our child to eat a steak tomorrow, and definitely go step by step. Making sure that we have healthy oral motor skills will definitely improve your feeding, chewing, drinking skills, and definitely speech development. So let's summarize a little bit what we saw in this episode. The jaw, it's a foundation, our stability for everything else that we mentioned before. Our feeding skills, chewing skills, drinking skills, speech. Our tongue is the coordinator. Yes, moving the food side to side, making sure that we are able to have good coordination and space, which will provide our jaw. Our lips is the closure and the containment, no? We contain everything that we are having inside, so the saliva, no, our way to manipulate the food, whatever we are doing inside of the mouth, no? We need to have a good tonicity to keep it closed. The speech have a direct impact in our oral motor skills and vice versa, meaning that if we have good lip closure, we can say ba, ba, ma. If we're having good tongue flexibility, we can say la, ta, da, na, ka, ga, no, etc. So there is a huge major impact between the healthy development of oral motor skills and the speech. And last one, but not because it's last one, it's less important, gentle exercises, no, stress-free. I know that it's feeding and chewing and speech delay definitely is already a stress topic for many parents. My wish for you is that we try to take it step by step. You try to work with a therapist close by who can give you reinforcement and also support. And in the meantime, we can put on practice some of the things that I already told you. And slowly, step by step, I'm pretty sure that we can arrive to certain good achieved goals. In the next episode, I'm going to dig in a little bit on explaining what is typical and atypical in oral motor development. So what to expect at different ages of our development, because sometimes the parents they don't know at which age the child should be chewing, or having a better control drinking from a straw, or maybe having a better manipulation of the tongue or jaw stability, etc. So we are going to go stages by stages from babies till later development, and we are going to go through all these stages to explain you exactly how our oral motor skills are developing and what to expect and what are the red flags. If you like this video, make sure that you like it. If you're new, make sure to subscribe, and I will be seeing you in my next video. And again, you are not alone. You're doing an amazing job by learning and supporting your child.